Welcome to Dear Rachel, a place where the stories from the shrinking edges of America get heard. With this show,
we will listen to people trying to make sense of their lives
in a world that feels like it's moving too fast, or not at all. These aren't headlines, they're heartlines, the moments between the moments, where people do everything right but still get left behind.
Hello, and welcome back to Dear Rachel. I'm Rachel. Today, pandemic aftermath. We're talking about what's still rippling across childhood, adolescence, young adulthood. Kids who were just starting out when the world shut down, and the ones born into masks and uncertainty. Developmental delays, learning loss, shaken vocational paths. What's been missed? What's lingering? Let's meet our first voice.
Hi Rachel, my name is Maria. I live in our city, and my daughter, Lucia, just turned 5. She was born in late 2020. For the first 2 years of her life, before she even spoke her full sentences, she had very limited exposure to other children. Daycare was sporadic. Preschool started masked, then virtual for stretches. Now it's like she's trying to catch up. She's shy with peers. Her speech is delayed compared to what I expected. She sometimes stumbles over words, struggles to find them. She's in kindergarten now, but I see her hesitating in class, unsure. Socially, she holds back. If a new kid wants to play, Lucia watches more than she joins. I worry. Did I miss chances by not pushing enough? Was preschool remote too long? I see other kids ahead, talking freely, joining games, making friends. For Lucia, the masks, the isolation, the quiet home time with parents who were stressed. I think they all piled up. I want to know, is this just normal pandemic catch-up, or will she always carry this leg?
Maria, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Lucia's story echoes what many parents are observing. Based on recent studies, there are modest but measurable delays for children born during the pandemic in communication, personal social skills, and problem solving. The thing is, modest doesn't mean not real, especially when your child's early years are a foundation. The reduced number of well-child visits, the disruption of social contact, mask barriers to facial cues, those matter. So yes, what you're seeing is consistent with what researchers are finding. But also, there's often a lot of room for recovery, especially with targeted support, speech therapy, social exposure, consistent routines. Let's shift now to another perspective. Next, I want to bring in a mother who's further along in childhood, someone with a kid in a mess, to contrast what happens when the interruptions pile up during school years.
Hi Rachel, I'm Tanya. My son Malik is 11. He was in 4th grade when the pandemic hit. School closed, he did remote school off and on. When they opened back, it wasn't fully normal. Hybrid schedules, masks, a lot of kids behind, teachers overwhelmed. He's always been a bright kid, but this year in 5th grade, his reading scores are well below where he should be. Math, too. He gets frustrated. He doesn't want to try sometimes because he's worried about getting behind. He was socially okay, had friends, but after long isolation, his confidence plummeted. Anxiety over speaking in class. He used to draw and write stories. Now his schoolwork feels mechanical, and he says he doesn't want to do it anymore. Sometimes I wonder, did the long break matter more than I thought? Are the teachers overburdened so support isn't catching up? Will he always be playing catch-up?
Tanya, I hear you. And what you're describing is deeply familiar for many in Malik's shoes. Studies show that learning loss in grades K to 5 has persisted years after school closures. Reading levels are still not recovered in many districts. Math loss in some places is nearly a full grade behind. The emotional layer you describe, anxiety, confidence loss, it compounds the academic side. When kids believe they're behind, often they stop trying. It's a cascade. I want to bring in one more voice. Someone in the interrupted generation who's now an adult, dealing with the long shadows of the missed years. Your stories help set the stage for what comes next.
Hey Rachel, I'm Jordan. I graduated from high school in 2021, then college in 2025, though it feels like I'm just getting started. During COVID, I missed prom, missed internships, online classes that sometimes didn't happen. My major is English and I wanted to do editing or publishing, but finding work right now feels impossible. A lot of jobs either want experience I couldn't get or internships that were canceled. When I finally got into college, I had gaps, socially, academically, because I was remote for so long, in high school and early college. I feel like I'm behind my peers who graduated in 2019. Worse, there's an expectation. You'll catch up eventually. But catching up costs money, confidence, lost time. I'm paying off loans and I feel like the clock is ticking. Family expects stability, bills need paid. I sometimes wonder, is what I missed going to haunt me long term?
Jordan, thank you. Your experience pulls together so much of what Maria and Tanya described in earlier years. It shows that the early delays and the school disruptions don't just fade away. They ripple into young adulthood. Recent data confirms your concerns. Unemployment rates for young college graduates, ages 23 to 27, are significantly higher now than they were in 2019. Underemployment is also high. Many graduates are in jobs that don't use their degrees. What you missed, the internships, the networking, the in-person cues, those are harder to make back up than we often imagine. So what are we seeing? Early years, small but real delays in speech, social skills, problem solving. Things that depend heavily on contact, interaction, consistent support. Elementary years, learning loss that persists, academic confidence shaken, emotional costs too. Young adults, missed milestones, unstable job market, underemployment, long-term stress that can affect mental health, financial stability, and the sense of self. What's next? I believe this moment requires more than reassurance. It needs concerted action. Here are some paths forward. 1. Increase access to early childhood services, screening, speech therapy, socialization programs. Recover those well-child visits and make them robust. 2. Boost funding for K-5 remediation, small group instruction, tutoring, summer catch-up programs, especially in under-resourced districts. 3. Support for young adults. Make internships more accessible. Create pathways for experience even for those who missed them. Mental health services attuned to this cohort. 4. Community awareness. Parents, teachers, employers. Recognizing that recovery is not just academic. It's emotional, social, and economic. Maria, Tanya, Jordan, your stories help us understand what statistics can't fully capture. The experience, the anxiety, the hope. Thank you for sharing with courage. For our listeners, if you know a child or young person still struggling after the pandemic, reach out. Tutor programs, speech or reading support, mental health counseling. You might find help in your community. You're not alone. I'm Rachel. Until next time, take care of yourself.